But we talk about Chelsea and obviously Pedro coming in, about 22 million, a few add-ons. There was a big deal going on supposed deal between Manchester United and Pedro. Do you think that one slipped through Van Gaal's fingers, or is it just a case of he didn't really want him? Because some people are saying, here we go, Chelsea against robbing someone else's player at the last minute. And from the other view, people are saying, well, if Van Gaal actually wanted him, he would have got him a long time ago because there's a release clause. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think Pedro is definitely, how they say, the one that got away. You know, Van Gaal can say whatever he likes, but I think we all know that Van Gaal wanted to sign Pedro. I think, you know, despite him saying that he didn't think he needed him in the end, for me personally, he wanted to sign him, but Pedro, you know, maybe he spoke to Fabregas and decided that yeah, well, you know, Valdez didn't bring him in. Obviously, De Gea's wanted to, you know, we know that De Gea was on his way out, but Pedro, I think he also saw where he could fit in best as well for himself. I think it was probably the best move for him. I think he could fit right in on that wing for Chelsea, playing the other side of Hazard with Fabregas. I think Chelsea's team suits how he plays, and obviously I think Jose Mourinho as well, the way he sets up his team is a lot more different to how Van Gaal sets up his team, and I think it suits Pedro more. So I think Pedro, made the right decision for himself, but you know, we all made that big gasp. We thought, oh my gosh, Manchester United just lost out on a player. You know, this doesn't normally happen to Manchester United.
But the thing is, because I'm from the school of thought that obviously there was a lot of rumours, and I do be careful when it comes to rumours, because we hear about all the time, Man United, Neymar, Muller, and we know these things are never going to happen. Like, let's be real. But there was a long transfer saga about Pedro going to Man United. Now, surely, if Van Gaal and Man United really wanted Pedro, they could have, you know, paid his release clause immediately.
Definitely not. All I see it as definitely Chelsea was the club for Pedro. Pedro said no to Man United rather than Van Gaal said no to Pedro. I know what you're saying about the release clause, but Manchester United didn't think Chelsea was in the running when they made the bid, so they didn't need to put that money for the release clause. But you know, I think you see what Pedro. Everyone knows what Pedro can do. You know, he's a Champions League winner. You know, he's featured in for Spain when they won all of their trophies, when they went on their haul. You know, so we know that Pedro is one of the best finishers in the world according to stats. You know, we see. So Van Gaal can't say that he didn't fit, because Pedro would have guaranteed got in that squad and played for Man United and scored. You know, he's already scored for Chelsea. We know what he can do. You know, he's a finisher. So I think Van Gaal literally let him get away.
Well, there's one Man United player that didn't get away as much as he might have want to go away, and that's David De Gea. For me, David De Gea is second best keeper in the world, best in the Premier League, second in Europe only to Manuel Neuer. I think last year, definitely, he proved that. The year before, you could see the improvement that he made since he came here in 2011. Now, that was obviously a saga that ran on for the whole transfer. Basically, since the season finished, we knew that Man United had a contract offer, which he hadn't, not that he rejected, but it was just there on the table, and he hadn't signed it. It was this contract, actually to this day, the contract is still there. But we're hearing today, and this is after last night, we're thinking, well, he's going, deal agreed, Keylor Navas is coming the other way. We're hearing today that it's actually Real Madrid who didn't put through that final paperwork to actually seal the deal. Do you think it's a bit of cat and mouse and Real Madrid trying to unsettle the hair? I don't know. Or trying to get a lower price. What do you think is actually going on at the Bernabeu? Because surely he would have been a player to then help them challenge Barcelona to win the La Liga and possibly Champions League glory.
Yeah, I guess we don't really know what went on there, but it's very, very strange. You know, most of us went to sleep last night knowing that De Gea was going to be a Real Madrid player, and woke up in the morning seeing that he's actually staying at Manchester United and that the deal wasn't going through, paperwork issues and that. And we know with the Premier League, we know that happens every year. There's always one bar side. Is the player contract gone through? You know, we're always talking about it. Did it go through? Did it not? We wake up and it's gone through, or it hasn't. But with the Premier League, we know this. We got this process of appealing and making sure, giving us more time, and usually, give it a day and they come through the next day. You know, we sort of with Berbatov one season as well. It took a long time. It ran on, but it went through. And then we see this morning that Real Madrid also have decided not to appeal to La Liga. So now we're thinking, hold on. Not only did they not submit the papers through, but they decided to not appeal it and say, actually, it's fine. It didn't happen in the end. Oh well, we'll stick to what we got. And De Gea is left thinking, what is going on? I was almost gone. I was there. Like there were talks. We were going in. We knew he flew to Spain because he's preparing for the international game that he's got coming up anyway. So he was there. He was ready. He was home. He was there. He probably didn't even pack a bag to go back to England. Got that one flight to go straight to Spain. But he's gonna have to now come back to Manchester, and we'll see if he even gets in the squad.
But I know that Man United fans, we're going to welcome him back with open arms. As I said, second best keeper in the world. But I'm wondering if Van Gaal's even going to play him, because he's like, you're even going to, obviously I'm thinking about the Heron now. Van Gaal might think, you're not even going to be here next year. I need to prepare my team to win possibly a cup this year, title next year, etc., etc. I want to see what's going to happen, because Van Gaal's talking about his mental state. But in terms of the Man United statement, because remember when it first went through, or the deal didn't go through, should I say, and it came through to the media, Real Madrid quickly tried to put the blame on Man United, without any real substance. They just said we submitted everything on time, Man United didn't. That's literally what they said. But Man United released a statement just after the transfer window closed, and basically gave a timeline of the events, saying exactly what happened at what time, what they did, and they actually were only controlling Manchester United's paperwork. Real Madrid were controlling Keylor Navas, David De Gea, and their own paperwork. So they had the bulk of the deal basically, and they fluffed it up. Now I say fluffed it up. Obviously they wanted the deal to go through, but I personally think that Florentino Perez thinks Real Madrid obviously is the biggest club in the world, that we can do what we want and everything will work out. And for me, it's egg on their face. It's egg on their face, and they're gonna have to wait till next year to get De Gea. I can only hope that De Gea sees this and sees that shoddy club for what it is and signs that deal that's on the table. So I'm saying this: Neeks to De Gea, sign the thing. Obviously, the big transfer on deadline day was that of Anthony Martial to Man United from Monaco. We saw a little thing in the paper that, just as I was going to sleep, I saw Martial to Man United, thinking could be, but who can you really believe these days? And I wake up, Sky sources. I thought, wow, this is happening. 36 million, that's the highest ever paid for a teenager. But apparently that might even rise to 58 million. I've seen him 2 matches, one against Arsenal in Monaco and one against Arsenal again at the Emirates. What do you know about this guy? Because I don't even know. I don't know nothing. So I'm just hoping and praying that this is the answer to our problems, because we have got some problems up front.
Well, I'm the same. I don't think a lot of us know much about him really. I mean, yes, he was playing against Arsenal in a Champions League game, but as an Arsenal fan, I was not thinking about him because we were in trouble. So, but from what we hear, a coach has come out and said that he's seen Thierry Henry play before, and he's seen Anelka before at that age and he said that this guy could be the next Thierry Henry or the next Nicolas Anelka. And so we hear from this person that he could be one of the best strikers in the world, if that's what he's saying. And so we're saying that I guess 36 million is a slip. It's cheap, isn't it? They're making money off that because best strikers in the world. If Gareth Bale getting sold for 80 million, who knows in about 10 years time what Man United can make of him. But we'll have to just wait and see what happens with that. One thing I will say is that, remember Louis van Gaal said a few weeks ago that he had a surprise package to come. Was that the guy? Was it him? Was he touting this young guy to come, or did he just miss out on so many and then fall on something in the end? We don't know.
I'm saying if that's what he fell on, it's a lot of money to fall on, and it's a risk. It's a big risk. But this is what Van Gaal gets paid for. He gets paid to take these risks. And if it don't work out, then see you later, goodbye, next manager in, because you can't be spending that kind of money. And he's giving number 9 shirt. He's supposed to lead the line now, really. And if that don't work out, and we're not actually progressing as a club, we came 4th last year, so we have to do better, then Van Gaal's future's on the line. So for his sake, let alone us Man United fans, I'm hoping that this goes through.